let's see this again. Stream went down, but I believe we're back. Yep. Let's see, let me get back to here. Yep. Cool, I'm talking. There we go. That's what I want to say. Ooh, it's not gonna like that. Cool. Good.
I'm not feeling well, all of this. It's way too scary.
Damn it. I scared Mike Baker. What a little bitch. Sorry, you know, I'm trying to do YouTube here. Don't fucking look at me like that. I'll put this thing in the fucking ground. That's one thing I do wish that's a change that I see should be a thing on this. When you leave your menus, when you leave, say you pause the game for a second to do something, when you come back, my controls, my cyclic does not self-center. It leans over to the left wherever I stow it, or to the right. Anyway, it leans in a direction wherever I leave it. I would love to see something pop up center screen where it showed you what your cyclic axis was, what your rudder pedal axis was, what your collective axis was, whatever all your control axes are, and show you where it was left off in the game, and then you have to match whatever the controls are for it to completely restart. So if I pause and I have everything completely unset, let's say I had to get up to go run outside, somebody was at the door, somebody delivered pizza, and let's say the dog came over and stepped on my rudder pedals, bumped in the bottom of the cyclic, bumped in the collective, and everything was off. It could cause a crash, and it could cause hours and hours and hours of grinding to be gone, because you lose all that money depending on what your insurance level is with the thing. But if it had a way to say, okay, restart, and then maybe some message pops up says your controls are significantly different than what they were when you left, would you like to get those in line with where we believe they would be, or something, you know, and then have the little scale, like little red or green, like, okay, cool, move this way, move this way, and then once you match everything, then you're good to go. Or once you have everything close enough, you're good to go. That way you don't cause a huge thing like right there. You know, if I had to pause the game to restart the stream, we would still be cruising and he would have been having a good ride. But instead, we had a huge movement that caused him to get scared and piss his pants back there. Not good. Suboptimal. So yeah, I think that's something that needs to be done or addressed. I'll bring it up in the forums. I know they're dealing with a lot of shit right now. One, because the launch of the game was not what they expected it to be. But honestly, I do think they saw that coming. There is no way they could have known that the game was going to be that far bad. There's no way they could have known that any of this would have worked suboptimally. Like, they launched the game knowing full well that it was not going to work, that people were going to be waiting in line. And they didn't know that, you know, that's ridiculous, you know. But hey, you know, actually, now that we're here, we're gonna go and skip towards the end. It's a long flight. I want to yap about other stuff.
Sir, as we start our descent toward Toledo State, make sure that your seatbelt is fastened. Thank you for your cooperation.
We are getting some winds here. Hello. I'm not following the traffic pattern. It's already ridiculous they have us landing on a runway. Let's come in here. Start our right turn. I want a downwind, turning base, turning final, all in one big U-turn. Because they want me to be an airplane. Which is nice, they put us on the right downwind. I believe that's typically reserved for airplanes, or for helicopters to be a left downwind. I believe helicopters typically do a right downwind. What a shitty approach path. Especially they have an airplane doing this. Man. Fly to final. Press to announce. What I'm doing now, I'm lowering my collective, pulling back on my cyclic. That's getting our bit of a flare coming down into this, if you want to call it that. Having to add some pedal in here to fight a significant amount of wind, more than I was expecting. And to keep us from doing different torques right now. Strong coming off the right. And once I get down here and start adding more power in, like right now this is dangerous territory for how fast I'm descending. But I was descending quicker than 300 feet per minute. I did not have a lot of forward airspeed there. That could have put me in a vortex ring state, which is more or less when you fly into your own downwash and you lose any sort of effective airflow over your rotor system, for lack of better terms. There's a lot of good explanation videos, but that's a way to dumb it down and to say it. But usually it's under a certain speed.
Kilo Bravo, Delta November, traffic November tree.
Under a certain speed and quicker than a 300 foot per minute descent rate. So you want to keep your forward momentum good enough to not have to deal with that. Look at this, freaking, why would I need to go over there to park? Could just directly into the ramp here, right? Actually, we're going to turn it around facing the runway because that's way cooler. Except we're not going to be into the wind. It's going to hurt us a little bit here.
Great flight. I'd fly this airline again.
Damn right you would, because it wasn't my fault when I got wiggly there. Taxi light was off. Oopsie. And that's one thing, when you pause the game, the anti-collision lights will turn off, which is crazy. Turn this off. It's just going to keep going. It's just free rotoring. So you gotta leave the battery on in the sim for some reason. I don't know. Thank you, Asobo. Passenger satisfaction, 90%. Not bad for having that one super crazy, ridiculous wiggle in the air because of pausing. You're welcome, Mike Baker. Get your CIA ass out of my helicopter. 66,000. See, that's a silly amount. Because I spent $1.5 million getting this helicopter purchased and revamped, and then with the smaller two-seater pilot and passenger, the Capri G2, I can make just about the same amount of money skipping and doing everything. So my huge investment is making me an absolute smaller amount of money per investment, which is dumb. Maybe it's the mission type. Don't know. That's something I think they should look into. You know, I didn't spend $1.5 million on a helicopter to make the same amount of money I was doing with a $250,000 helicopter. I wonder if there are different companies. Because I have the flight sim, which isn't doing anything right now. Passenger transport flight sim, pending qualification. So here's one that's annoying. This right here. I have this 2 out of 2 certifications, 2 out of 2 certifications. I've got everything there. I can't do it because something broke in their system to where I can't do more than this. Skydive can do, obviously. Cargo transport, I think that's fixed wing only. Maybe. I don't know, they might have. Of course, it doesn't show me. Weird. Let's do some, let's do something more fun. Let's do let's do something in the Gulf down here. Chinook, no, because we don't have a ground crew telling us forward, back, left, right, and those things are a damn school bus. So I'd rather do it with the H125. It's already annoying enough doing this with the H125 because the ground crew's not there to tell you forward, back, left, right, up, down, anything like that. But with the Chinook, it's even more annoying because it's a huge helicopter. They put the drop zone extremely close to some very big vertical things, which I'm sure I'll show you here. Let's see. Let me scoot forward some. No wonder everything was feeling so far away. I'd actually scooted back in the chair. Let's see. Forward setting, reset my view. Come on, hurry up, let's go. So yeah, vertical there, and it would give me a drop zone like here for the Chinook, which, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm gonna hit that with a Chinook with that right there. No. Unreal. Okay, let's do this. Let's get myself situated. I feel good there. Do I feel short? Something feels off. Cool. Maybe I do feel a little bit short. Better. Let's see. Hey Mikey, what's up? Hell yeah. There. What's going on, big man? My friend's got his kid watching Bear. Coolest kid you'll ever meet. Sorry if you have one, you think you got a cooler kid. Not true. Not a thing. Let's see, got that open. Turn Fuel pump off, pitot on. All that going. Let's call the ground team.
Engine
Let's
started
do this.
preparing for takeoff. Please be ready. Copy that we're getting in position.
Rotor RPM picking up.
Final brief before you leave. The replenishment tanker is stationed nearby.
Helicopter, that's right.
They've brought a brand new gen set for us.
You got it, Bear. Okay, Bear, we're going to do this for you, okay, bud? We got our viewing window down here to the right. We're going to go pick something up off of an oil rig, okay? I feel like I'm sitting slightly crooked. But we're going to call this good. Ooh, let's get that on. I hate that that switch is centered. Okay, let's go do this now. We're going to take off. We're going to go find a boat. And knowing that they put these
Alt 10,
cranes and riggers far out.
Mods 200 helideck with 2 packs.
So if you don't pay attention to your landing zone or takeoff area beforehand, you could have an issue with that.
This is bulk 10 noted.
This one looks like it should be a pretty easy pickup. The wind doesn't look that
2
bad.
packs on board. No refueling required.
But let's do this. Another annoying thing, I can't call about the pickup area approach until we get all the way through our brackets that shouldn't be here in the first place. Let's do it. And I put my mission step thing, I'm going to put it like right here because of the way that I need a hover to pick these things up. I'm actually going to use the, not mast, but whatever vertical reference thing there is on the front of the ship here. I'm going to use that as my lineup mark through my front right window area.
I've always wanted to pursue this career.
Alt 10 in
It feels like we're living our
childhood
every day.
requesting pickup clearance. Green deck, everything cleared now.
Okay, Bear, let's go do this. I'm going to point out what we're going to do real quick for you. We've got this little circle right over here, and we have something in the middle that we need to take over to that oil rig. I got a rope hanging down this way. And usually for stuff like this, you use like a 200-foot rope or something. But they give us a 30-foot line here. They don't give us any ground crew to tell us how we're doing, if we're close, if we're not close. That's what I'm doing here. I'm just keeping my
Hello in perfect position. Don't move. You're not hovering
the
directly
ship's
above
thing
us.
right here, right in the window, so I know I'm lined up. I know I'm sitting there. I know I'm close enough because I'm watching this. Gotta hover here for like 7 seconds or so.
Cargo properly secured. Weight distribution on point for a safe
Let's
flight.
take the slack in the line. Got it picked up. How much weight we got here?
Alt 10 in
882 pounds.
39017,
Let's go.
Leaving port with 2 packs en route to deposit zone.
See, there we go.
882 pounds.
Got it hanging down there. Let's swing it a little bit for you guys to see it in the window.
Hopefully they're prepared.
Safe flight.
If not, we could be in trouble.
But 882 pounds, good bit of weight, but it's not a crazy amount of weight. You can do like 2,000 pounds with these things. If you have the right setup, if you have enough of the interior stripped out, the right cargo sling hook set up, and all that. And usually, you can weigh this stuff with the actual hook setup itself with this unit there, but that's not modeled in these. It'd be something neat to see in the future. But as for now, we're just going to deal with it like it is, you know. Also, anytime I'm looking way over here like that, I'm reading the comments. So Let's see. There's my live chat. Got it back. Okay, guy, let's go forward. Just another day at work. Yeah, a much longer line would be very cool. Not something that they do yet, so not something I do yet. But it is neat that they do have model, because I can feel it swing and pendulum.
Requesting clearance to engage off.
Okay, Bear, here we go. We're going to put it back on the helipad here. We're going to see our blue circle pop up here in a second. There we go. And I'm basically going to stick my rotor blades into this tower and lower ourselves down. We're going to keep enough altitude here where we're not going to crash it into the pad itself. Let's get nice and close and personal. Away, but they put the drop zone really, really close, which is annoying. Slowly letting collective down. See it on my right eye, y'all can't see it, but my thing's telling me I'm in the drop zone. There we go. Let's get out of here real quick, because I was losing it trying to look far off over here to my my note thing. Let's just lower ourselves down now. We'll do a steep approach in. Look at that, I set it down on the gantry system there. Good job, Bear, we did it. Look at that, set it on the stairs.
Is heading out and sends their compliments for this efficient operation. Drop by later and we'll go over these outstanding stats together.
Cool. Let's turn that down there. Avionics horn, anti-collision, let's get rid of that. Landing lights off. Those off. Let's get rid of that. Turn our fuel off. Wait for our RPM to slow down a little bit below the yellow. Sorry, just checking the phone. And let's put the brake on. Generator off.
I'm curious about what they're going to do
just
with what we've
replace
just
it and we'll
dropped.
have power again for
Anyway,
morning
I wouldn't
coffee.
like getting lost around here. Conditions must be pretty tough in bad weather.
Cool, let's go. Good job, people. You didn't do a damn thing. Don't look at me like that. Cargo drop precision 94. Hell yeah. It used to be like you could only get 80% max, but now you can really get more because they fixed the system. Of course, I'm only going to get paid like $4,000 or $5,000 for this. Yeah, because I'm an employee for somebody else. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. So for the Asobo or Microsoft Flight Simulator employee that's watching this, specialization here, I did my... Oh crap, I should have been this certification thing. Here, we'll go back. I've passed all my flight tests. I have my certification for Airline Transport Pilot's License, which is big turbine. For like the Chinook for the S64 Sky Crane like that. But whenever you pass those, it usually opens you up to... I lost this. What are we doing? Okay, I got it back. So whenever you pass that, usually it takes you to your map, or you go to your missions, and it does like a big thing, like, ooh, cool, you unlocked, like this right here, banner towing. And it had been showing me that I was available to work towards unlocking the aerial construction over here somewhere. That's why I fast traveled over here to see if I could find it. But now it's gone. Now there's no aerial construction whatsoever here. There's no aerial construction anywhere on the map. Yeah, see, like here, skydiving, flight sim with a fixed wing, cargo over here in Madagascar, the search and rescue, or something started down here. I forget what it was. VIP and some island thing. But yeah, there's no more aerial construction. It should be right there, but now I can't do it. Now I can't even start it in my own company because it's gone. Aerial construction is no longer a thing. But I'm going to retake that exam real quick just to show you it's not repass the exam. Let's go. Aircraft model not found. Thank you. Love that. Beta testing. Nothing against you guys for putting out an incomplete or untested game, but there's a lot of stuff here that just feels like it was not looked at. You know, a lot of the search and rescue missions I don't do. They're fun, you know, it's neat looking for somebody, but they're damn near impossible for some of them to find. When you do find them, you have to land before you get your hoisting. You have to land however close to somebody. And sometimes there's nowhere to land. You know, they're on the side of a mountain. The place where it is good enough to land is too far away, so it doesn't pick up. If you do like a skid down, you know, you can do that, but then when it reads it's good to go, it does a cutscene, or it does the, ooh, we're loading up now sort of thing. And then you lose all of your control ability, and it crashes the helicopter. And like the one where everybody starts out, the Masonville one up in like northern upstate New York or Canada, whatever it is, there's nowhere to land. You have to either set it down on top of a tree and hope that you balance it well enough to not crash during the cutscene, or you have to slowly lower yourself into gaps that you think are big enough in the trees where you're watching your main rotor above your head cut through all the limbs and hoping that you're not going to hit something that actually reads as an actual object and you crash. Which that was the way I did it. I had to I crashed 10 times in a row because I could never land on the tree perfect enough to balance because of another bug with the system. I was finally able to find a small little hole to set down into and then slowly take back up out of it, which in itself is hard because of that other bug as well. The other bug is the ground effect bug. Of course, there's different aerodynamics when you're on the ground or near the ground in an airplane and a helicopter. This thing is huge.
As this is your last check ride, I will be making sure that you fly safe today. If all goes well, you'll have your rotorcraft ATPL by the end of the day.
But the ground effect bug affects you when you go over like a raised surface. And that raised surface being a tree snaps your airplane or your helicopter left or right or back or whatever. Of course I can't do that. I gotta shift C to get inside. But it snaps your helicopter left, right, or something like that, and it's uncontrollable. Or it is controllable, but it's huge inputs and it's not smooth, and there's no way to do it smoothly, and nothing you can do. Sorry, you know. And I don't know how to start this one the old school way, so I'm just going to Control E and let it do its thing. Let's move you here. I like to look at that. I'm going to turn my landing lights on. This is a monster of a helicopter here. Huge, huge, huge helicopter. They can pick up to 20,000 pounds. Am I right? 16 or 20,000 pounds. Okay, I'm really short here, so I'm gonna sit myself
You're
up.
lucky not everyone gets to fly the
Alt
air
forward.
crane. This beast of a twin-turbine helicopter is a legend when it comes to heavy-lift
heat.
helicopters.
I wonder if it's going to turn that on
Remember
for
that
me.
this rotorcraft's weight and size have a major influence on its
it
inertia,
does.
as well
What
as
else
its
do I have down
takeoff
here?
and
Parking
landing
brake.
characteristics.
APP on, so it should turn the auxiliary power off for me, I believe. Let's go ahead and get taxi clearance going.
Liverpool,
I've
ground
got parking
November,
brake where I don't have to
tree
do control space. I've got it
9017
mapped
request
to my,
taxi for east departure with whiskey.
to my cyclic here.
November Tree
Ugh,
Niner
where's your
017
chin?
taxi to and hold short of runway 27 via taxiway. Contact tower on 126. Tree 55 when ready.
Those are both in flight. Acknowledge my taxi clearance.
Taxi 2 and hold short runway 27 via taxiway 017.
Let's see. There they go. It has to go through its warm-up cycle. I am not lifting off there, bud. So parking brakes off. And we'll just slowly start moving forward. This has wheels. Of course, a tricycle's bad. Not that bad of a taxi, actually. Boy, I love wasting money taxiing. I'm sure this thing probably burns like 75 to 100 gallons an hour, if not more. It's probably something ridiculous like that. Being huge engines like this, it's probably a 10,000 horsepower helicopter. Which I need to do some more research on this. You know, it'd be great to be a like T. Martin does really, really good streams for Flight Sim. Or T. Martin 2, I believe is his channel name. TMARTN. But, something he does. I don't have to hold short button. Something he does for his, stream, since he's not in VR and he can pull up more information and whatever. He looks up history on airplanes and areas that he's flying, and he usually does it in somewhere pretty neat. Whether it be Pearl Harbor, and he'll give you a history of Pearl Harbor while he's flying some sort of, you know, period correct
Liverpool Tower, November, tree 9
airplane or aircraft or
7 ready for
helicopter
east
around.
departure at runway
He's entertaining
27.
that way. He always wears like a flight jacket and sunglasses, and he does his part. But he's also a very large streamer, so he's made his impact doing stuff like that.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 27.
Of course, a lot of the stuff he doesn't do it for pure sim purposes.
Clear for
of,
takeoff, runway
okay, cool, we gotta flip this switch, this switch, this switch, or... I'm sure he understands a good bit of the dynamics of how the airplane or helicopter works. But I'm sure he has a majority of the assist on and stuff just because he's making good entertaining content. Sometimes that's what people want. You know? The only thing entertaining about my content is me when I want to be. I don't think that anybody's watching this helicopter stuff. Which right now I feel like I'm actually just flying smooth the airplane. We're clear left. Let's take off. Look at that. Took off before the 1,000-foot mark. Man. Boeing's can only dream of being this good. We're gonna climb up to 600 feet. Got plenty of time. Nice and easy. I want my DPE over here to be as comfortable as she can be. I don't know if y'all see that, but I'm getting some laggy jitters happening. Don't know why. Might just be close to ground. Close to ground. Close to ground. Render.
Liverpool Tower November Tree 90017 continue for east departure.
Ugly ass water here in Liverpool. What are you? Also, a second ago, I looked at there's smoke from somewhere across the water. I'm not sure. 1,000 feet. Okay, yeah, there is smoke. I guess they model that for how crappy this area is, or factories, whatever else.
Liverpool Tower November, tree 90017, 900 feet to land.
November tree 900.
The crazy thing is just like bigger trucks and stuff like that, you don't feel the speed. Like this doesn't feel like I'm doing 90 knots right now. Doing the little Capri gumball, Capri gumball, G2, whatever it is. Man, it feels like you're trying to break the speed of sound, trying to get it over 80. To fly almost straight down at full speed. Well, I can get the wheels, but I'm going to do it after I pass this test that I've already passed before, though. I'll jump back in again. I'm just thinking this opens up my aerial construction stuff. Trying to mess with the FAA, Mikey? Is that what you're trying to do? Just like you don't mess with UPS or USPS or whatever it is, the post office. They'll come and get you. I guess we're going to trip this bad boy in here. Hell yeah. I'm sure the DPU loves that. And DPU would probably laugh about it. FAA examiner probably wouldn't be as keen. It feels like a flying freaking tank, and not the cool tank with guns on it. It feels like I'm flying like a propane tank. Which in real life would probably be badass to fly one of these. I know Helicopter Express up in North Georgia. I know that they have these. I think they have 19 of them. Stop early.
017, turn next taxiway.
Sorry, Mikey, you sent that message too late. I'm hovering now. I don't know what you said. Can't look over there. Focus.
contact ground on 121. 955.
121. 955 for 017.
Stop.
Liverpool ground November tree 9017 request taxi to parking.
Aviation parking via taxiway.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway 017.
Taxi, baby. I'm gonna fly over there. I'm not driving. It's too damn slow. I was doing some reading on the big helicopters like this, where you can have like 100-mile-an-hour wind downwash off of these things, even when they're out of ground effect, you know, 100 feet above, 50 to 100 feet above the ground, just because they're so massive and they're moving such an amount of weight or mass of air around, which is wild. Like smaller helicopters, like little 206 and Robinsons and stuff, you can stand next to them with your eyes open, more or less. These things, man, you gotta be wearing goggles and you gotta be strapped down to the ground if you're in one of these things. There we go. Stop. Brake. Shift Control E because I don't know the shutdown procedure. No, whoa, 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 buddy, what are you doing? Holy crap. What are you doing? What? What? I am not... What? What is going on? I was not touching the controls there. We're gonna forget that. Strange. Okay, let's do something cooler than this. If we're gonna be dragging water around, let's go somewhere neat. Let's see. Where is cool? What time is it now? Is it dark here? Yeah, we'll change time. Because I know where I'm going to drag the water at. We're going to drag the water right around here. What do you say? I'm going to buzz over here, but we're going to drag the water right around there. We'll take off out of Hampton. And we'll drag skids. I like the Airbus. Let's get this right. Cool, I want to start cold and dark, but thank you. Yeah, I guess I can start right. I don't want to start running. But still some good lake water here. Who are you? Your GoPro is floating, I guess, since I'm in the search and rescue version. Let's see. to still all the damn lake water up here. Weather looks questionable, though. For a lesser pilot. How much torque do we want? We want all of it. Hell yeah. I heard somebody fell off their boat up here. We're going to go get them out of the water. Let's go do it. That'd be another cool thing that this thing needs to bring into. It needs the ability to build your own scenarios, your own missions. Let's see, passing over 1941 here. There's Diamond S. That's the airport south of the lake that's just south of Spivey and Jodico. I believe it's a privately owned airport in somebody's yard. You can see it on Google's satellite view. It's literally, they have like a long paved driveway just going to the back of their property. It's considered an airport. Let's see. Luella, I think is the name of that school. I don't know. Hampton, I don't know. Either way, Hampton, Georgia people. There you go. You're welcome. You didn't miss much. And we'll break the nice little VFR rules. We're supposed to be 500 feet above ground level, but my radar altimeter is telling me we are 200 feet or less above ground level, which is way cooler. Yeah, would you rather fly to work like this or way in the sky? Come on. At 120 knots, what is that, 137 miles an hour, something like that? Way cooler. I seen livestock, because apparently, whoa! Thanks, trees, for spawning in last second. Apparently you can chase livestock around and stuff too. What is that area? Battlefield maybe? And I want to say this neighborhood here is where I bought my 4Runner in. There's that little airport, Diamond S. The lollipop markers are a bit off, but you've got a long normal driveway there, and then a long asphalt paved driveway that's considered a airstrip. Here's some dumb lake, I don't know what it's called, it's like a county reservoir or whatever. But up here, kind of in the middle of our windshield there, is Spivey and Jodico. That's where we're heading. The rich people, like, we're gonna go hit up Lil Rapper, whatever his name is. Lil Yachty, Young Yachty, I don't know. We're gonna go buzz their shit. Bear, we're coming for you. I hope you can hear me outside, bud. See, these dudes don't complain like the passenger I had earlier. Because they know I got it. Okay, we're going to buzz Jodico here. For those of you who don't know, Lake Jodico has a horsepower limit for the lake. Very small, dinky lake. Boo. You come across the bridge, spillway, whatever you want to right there. You get to Lake Spivey, which has no horsepower limit. Damn clean lake, cool people, good friends, nice place. Dangerous area right here because of who lives there. Football player who'll probably tackle you. Oh, they have this beach rendered in. That's cool. This island right here is for sale for a low, low price of $2 million. It has a house on it. I don't think you can see. No, it's not made in the game. But if If anybody wants a house, that's where you can get it. I'm going to stop by here, pick up my friend at his dock, which again is not rendered in, but we like playing make-believe here. Actually, the water looks pretty shallow right here. So what I'm going to do, hello ground effect, plan some weird things with me. I'll put it down here on, actually I'm going to make sure I'm lined up good real quick. Cool. Let's come back over here. Oh wait, it does have the docks kind of rendered out-ish. Didn't know that. I guess you can kind of see it underneath of the, underneath all the water. Whatever. Anyways, let's land down here. I think it's too deep to land at the end of the dock. I think we can actually land in the water here. Okay. And now what we do, turn that down to flight aisle. Am I floating? I think I'm floating. I am floating. I'm gonna move. Look at this, I'm floating. I guess this is an amphibious helicopter now. I want to set down these people's yard. It doesn't look deep enough to float, but you know, whatever. Come on, give me my idle back. Let's go. Flight power. Nope. Playing water games with me? Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, this will be it here. We're gonna land on the street that's not rendered in. Okay. Toss that bad boy there. Make sure we're not going nowhere. Oh, thank you. I'm looking to purchase a Mopar engine that does not work. Would you happen to know where I can find a Mopar engine that doesn't work? Nope, no Mopar engines here? Ah, sorry, gotta leave. Out of here, bud. Only interested in old crappy Mopar vlogs. I guess I'll have to go somewhere else. Down until we get our power back. I love doxing my friends on live stream. This is great. Especially now that I can walk up to their door on the sand. Let's get out of here. We don't want to cause too much problem. I was just about to message you back, but whatever you just sent me there about petitioning, talk to Leo. Leo did it to his place. He could probably walk you through doing that sort of thing. But yeah, so I would love to actually come visit my friends on Spivey in a helicopter one day. That would be sick. Except there's not many places to land. There is a house over here that we are friends with, but I believe his yard is kind of sloped to where it would make it a bit of an issue. Which I believe this would be. I believe that would be his, but in real life his yard looks really, really sloped, kind of almost what the hill on the backside is. But what would be optimal is if we could make friends with whoever owns this area here by the cove. They have plenty of landing area there, and it would be very cool to see a helicopter parked here. Floats are a thing, but I don't know how well floats do in helicopters. I know with airplanes, yeah, they're made for float planes, but float helicopters aren't super popular from what I understand. Some of like the smaller like Robinson R22s have a float option, and I think some of like the single seat Mosquitoes have a float option, but I don't know if people actively use those as the way of landing. Which way am I heading? I want to go north. So I don't know how many people actually use the floats for landing. I think they're more there for an emergency. Because I think your big issue is if your tail rotor is one that's pretty close to the ground and you get some rocking back and forth and your tail rotor hits the water, then you have to tear down the rear gearbox and all the bearings and stuff through the tail boom itself and the drive shaft and check to make sure it's all okay. Versus the airplane, I think the main propeller of the airplane is ahead enough to where it's not an issue, but I think with helicopters, I think it's more of an emergency thing. You buy a copter, I'll make a pad. Deal. What is it? Dave Cutler already said he's going to make a pad for me. He's got 30-something acres. And now that it's set online, he can't take that back. Also, Crystal Hooks, the stunt girl Crystal Hooks, and her husband John, I guess she's Crystal Hoare now, or she keep it, I don't know. Anyway, Crystal and John, they bought their new property, and they said that they will be putting in a helipad also, or they've talked about it. But now that it's online, I can't say anything that's not true, so they're locked into it now. So it looks like we're headed 75 north here. Yep. We'll do a traffic report. So yeah, now that you said it, it's online. You know, you can't take it back now, so now that's 3 people that are guaranteed to build me a helipad to land on. I did tell Crystal and John before they did, let's fly under these power lines, to let me know first, because I obviously cannot afford this helicopter, which if I were to buy one in good condition, I'd be spending around $1.5 million. Sadly, I'd be flying a little dinky Robinson R22 or something, but they don't have a lot of power like these do. So let me set down here in this little parking lot. I'll show you what I mean. They got a lot of cars and shit parking there a lot here. They need to clean that up. So, for something like this, it's not unheard of for it to land in a vertical fashion down into a hole. When I say hole, if it was building walls around, that would be dangerous just because of the wind that it would create. And you'd get a lot of weird turbulence things going on. But even with a full load of people, this helicopter should have no issues picking up and getting straight out of this hole. I'm barely using any of my torque here. Something smaller like a gas-powered Robinson, having a bit more of a directional run-up. So let's say out this clear area here with my pad. This could be the parking place, or like where you actually want to land. But for the Robinsons and stuff being smaller, it would be nice to be able to pick up a little bit, get a little bit of forward momentum, and then get up and out. And of course, in every direction would be nice, just because that would make it easier to play the winds. You know, if you have a 10 knot wind coming from one direction, you can already give yourself a 10 knot airspeed. But a deal is a deal. See, there it is. I'm screenshotting that, bud. Yeah, like if you look at what your local weather pattern is, you can say, okay, cool, we're usually getting winds from the east or from the west or from the north or from the south. And you can kind of put favor in what direction you have cleared areas in. Because like your current yard right now, it would almost be the entire backyard's worth of trees that would have to be done, and then that would still be doing an approach like from the lake over the trees, over your house, and then landing in the backyard, and then wanting to have enough run up to get out of there, which it's doable in the little helicopters given the right temperature and stuff. But in the summer, it's hot, the air is muggy, and it's not as thick as it would be when it's cool. It's very hard to get smaller, weaker helicopters out of stuff. But fields are better, less stuff to hit, less power lines, whatever. Anyways, but I have thought about your place a lot, and like what the viability of a small helicopter landing on the end of the community dock would be, or if it was like the Heavy D style helicopter barge that he lands his Black Hawk on. Of course, we don't need one that's 50 foot long. It just needs to be like a 10 by 10 or something. But as long as it's stable enough to keep the tail rotor out of the water and not move around too much when it's landing, and be a good material that's grippy, nice enough for the. Let's come down to this. I haven't done this yet. But grippy enough for the skids to get onto and not slide off until you get a chance to actually get a chance to strap it down. Then it could work, but I don't know what the parking situation and stuff would be like that. And it would, as long as it'd be sturdy enough with the wakeboarding boats to not let it slide off the side. Like you said, you tie it down once it lands. There's no chance of it sliding off, but as long as it's stable enough for takeoff and landing, then something like that could work. I know all the roofs would probably be closer to being in danger with any sort of rotor wash. But small helicopter, I don't think it does too much to where it'd be something to worry about. How you doing there, Bear? Have you fallen asleep yet watching? I know. Me too, bud. What we're going to do now, we're going to head up to Grady Hospital. And luckily we won't get shot because we're going to be in the air. Although there is a high chance we're going to be mistaken for a drone if we go to New Jersey. God, it's like the people in New Jersey have never looked in the sky before. Like 98% of the pictures and the videos that I see, it's obviously a Gulfstream, or obviously a jet or a helicopter or something. Is New Jersey just so depressing that people don't know how to, like, not look at the ground? Is that what it is? Is it that bad there? I don't know. Sad to see. I'm sure there are some drones, which I have a drone. I fly mine around. I'm not going to say it's not a drone. Do it harder, Bear. Aim for the jugular. You don't know what that is yet. But yeah, these drone people, holy crap, like why is the first thing to assume that, oh my god, the Iran is sending drones first? When did Iran get enough money to park a ship off of our shore that we can't find that's sending hundreds of sizable big drones into our airspace? I'm not putting it past because we had the balloon incident with China. But I'm not putting it past that, like, okay, cool, somebody's not going to fit, but why? Why are we trying to hate Iran so much? Are we trying to go to war with them because they have nuclear capabilities with their plants? Is that what it is? The only viable thing that I've seen that's in favor of it being drones is that it's NEST, which is a government agency, the Nuclear Emergency Special Team, I think. And that they're doing radiation searches because apparently somebody tried to sneak a nuke into the U.S. or something of the like. That's the only thing I'm seeing that's in favor. Let's see. Oh crap. Bear is going for it. Bear, don't do it! But yeah, so I'm seeing something where it's like they're doing background radiation searching for a nuke or something that got snuck in, which NEST does do radiation searches before big public events like the Super Bowl, Daytona 500 and stuff. They have like a King Air, twin turboprop engine, whatever, do like grid passes over areas, and they'll do a background radiation of areas surrounding big events for a month or two leading up to the event. And then they'll do it again on the days of the event and right around the event to see if anything's changed drastically enough to like raise a flag like, oh my god, somebody's gonna blow up the Super Bowl. Understandable. But these drones are running drones, I'm doing the quotation marks with my fingers here. Here, let me do this. The drones are using FAA compliant lighting. They have their reds and greens and strobes and approach lights. It's like the people in New Jersey don't realize that they live near 4 major airports and they're right next to one of the busiest cities. And New Jersey is not important enough for people to want to spy on. There is nothing there. Sorry, guys. It's not that cool. Like the armpit of America, isn't that what they called it? But yeah, so if it's anything, I would say it's NEST doing a radiation search, but also why not just do it during the day? The only time the drones would be necessary at night would be when you're not doing something that requires vision. You know, like usually like thermal stuff, like, okay, cool, why would they need to do that? There's no reason for it, is what I'm trying to say. What I'm going to do here, for anybody that cares, I'm going to demonstrate how bad this landing bug is. So I'll do a landing real quick here on the nice, suspiciously not busy I-20, and kind of show you what I mean by ground effect. So when you're flying near the ground, it's easier. For lack of better terms, you have a cushion of air. It's a lot easier seeing like the Robinson or the Capri G2 because you can see the power easier. But coming into the ground, you see it is very easily controllable, and I can sit here and do a very low hover with very low effort, and it's not using like 2 to 3 on the torque there. But I get out of ground effect up here. Touch and go Brave Stadium. Let's go. Well, we'll do the new Brave. You talking about the old Brave Stadium here? Because we just flew past it. Let's do the old Brave Stadium, where the old field was here in the parking lot. If you're not an old Atlantean, you probably don't know that, but this parking lot looks like this because it used to be the stadium. Yeah, so there's out-of-ground effect hovers, which, let me get into a stable, no airspeed hover here. Out-of-ground effect. Let's see, let's get to constant elevation here. Actually, I'm into the wind a little bit there. Either way, it takes, yeah, here, if you look at our gauge right there in the middle, we're like it's like 40 to 50% torque to maintain a hover there. But when we get down into ground effect here, where we're actually more or less on the ground, it takes much less torque from our big center, basically looks like a tachometer, much less torque to maintain a hover there. So when you're landing on something like a raised surface, like a helipad at a hospital, you do expect some sort of change of ground effect as you come into it. And it's something that they teach you when you are learning and not getting certified, but getting trained to do a helipad approach. I like the best angle to come in where it's like a 15-degree angle to where it minimizes the transition of ground effect. But usually it's a gradual thing where you notice a difference. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to be as smooth as I can with my inputs here, coming into it. But you're going to watch how the helicopter will jerk extremely hard, I believe to the right, because of what this one is. So I'm going to do a very smooth approach, which is a very flat-on approach right here. Usually it'd be coming from more up. But the jerk that you're going to see is not going to be, I didn't touch my controls there. That was all just the immediate on-off switch of the ground effect happening that the game has in. So a lot of times when you're trying to do something, they have missions where you can do crop dust and you have to land on a very small truck to refill the crop sprayer in the helicopter. That small truck has that ground effect bug and you can't land on it because it creates such an issue. Now here I'm going to try coming in at this angle. And see, even there it pushed me away, not as hard, but I'm still having to fight it way more than I should. Once I get into it with this helipad being big enough, I can kind of get the whole thing inside of the ground effect bubble that's created by whatever the programming or whatever is. But for the most part, it's... I'm going to get hit by a Dodge Charger Nissan Altima. True. If I was in LA, we'd go find a sideshow somewhere and get hit by a Charger or a Infiniti G35 or G37. But yeah, the ground effect bug sucks trying to do any sort of career progression because it's not the way it should be represented in realism. Do some Fred North sort of things here. Mikey, you did Bad Boys 3 second unit when we had the helicopter out there, didn't we? When we were out by IKEA. Also, for those of you that don't know, Centennial Olympic Park here, this is where the bombing happened back during the Olympics in '96. The Aquarium World of Coca-Cola, the Hilton Garden Inn, or whatever this is. Yeah, Hilton Garden, there's a helipad here that you can land on if you want to get delivered to the Hilton Garden Inn. Let's see. Now we're getting in the Georgia Tech dorm territory, but a lot of Altimas in this area too. Atlanta News First. See, it's weird they have a helipad marked for that. I don't think I've ever noticed that in real life. And we're coming into all this stuff here. Nothing's rendered in yet. But most of the time these helicopters will fly out of PDK. There you go. Render in, render in. There you go. Parked there before. There's IKEA. Here we go. So, if you've watched Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys for Life, there were these scenes where there is the motorcycle chase, and then the motorcycle crashes into the back of a tractor trailer, and the bad guy runs up the tractor trailer, jumps onto a rope swing on the bottom of a helicopter, and then the guy, he's shooting a machine gun off of it, and the guy in the helicopter has a machine gun and a rocket launcher and stuff. That all happens on this bridge right here. This is where we filmed that. The guy that I've been talking to, who's not posting comments but texting me since he has it cast up to his TV for his kid. Hey, Bear. He does all the picture cars, so all the vehicles and stuff, he builds those. Yeah, we filmed that here, so anytime you see the helicopter flying over with the ladder out the side, was the ladder out the right side? Yeah, I think the ladder was out the right side. That was Fred North, who, if you're into helicopters, you know him as the movie Helicopter stunt pilot guy. That was him hovering right here in an A-Star, like we're in right now. Then whenever they weren't doing scenes, he would come and sit down in this parking lot with this grass field over here. Oh, here's one thing I was talking about. I think right when we started doing that mission earlier, talking about the dust out and everything. Let me get back because it's reading as pavement. So right now, my collective is all the way down. I should not be browning out like this. There's really no downdraft at this point when I'm in the collective. Now when I'm pulling the collective up, that's when I more or less turn the fan on. That's when I should be getting the dust out like that. But, you know, whatever. So what was this Atlanta News first that I saw? Is that further up? Children's Healthcare, Roughwood, maybe that. I don't think that's the hospital. Emory. There we go, Atlanta News first. What is this? Is that what this one was? Yeah, it looks like news vans parked down there. Got a satellite dish. That is ugly. Man, this looks apocalyptic. So their rendering engine makes this look bad. I mean, it's cool that there's that much detail, which I can almost promise you when you're at altitude, whether you were at a jet doing an approach or something, we're really taxing the helicopter there. That's how you blow your engine. Yeah, that looks better there, but when you're up close, that looks, it's like an apocalypse movie almost. Oh, here we go, we're getting into the thick of it now. We're going to go to PBK. Put this down in the Metro Aviation, who does a lot of helicopter stuff up there. Got to walk around their shop one time with Brady. Shout out Brady, shout out Metro. Okay, that windshield wiper's distracting. Sorry about that. Going to turn that on. Community pool. And we'll cool guy fly until we get up there. I've been sitting down here yapping for long enough. We'll call it a day. Unless somebody wants to tell me something else interesting to do. Power lines, let's go. Change in lighting. Strange. Man, it looks rough north of Atlanta. It is rainy up there today. And this is today's weather, just rewinding back into nighttime. Polished off that energy drink, we're good to go. And also, like, I understand that it's trying to save memory with the tree rendering, but for somebody that's flying helicopter low to the ground, that looks really bad. Who put this many trees in Atlanta? Isn't this supposed to be populated and unlivable? Also, Mikey, if you're still in here, you can message me now and tell me. But how does this look smoothness-wise? Because I know you probably peeked in on some of the other streams I did or had watched them in the past. I'm using a new streaming setup thing to where hopefully it smooths out some of the motion of the camera to where it looks better, and hopefully better graphics too, the way I have it set up. But let me know. If not, I'll text you after this or call you or something. Shout out to my good friend Bear for watching, keeping up with me. And maybe that's why Mikey stopped texting me. Maybe Bear assassinated him. He has a mullet. You know, you can't control what he does. It's a Sunday afternoon. Cracked open a Coors. 2 years old, you just can't handle your liquor, you know. Do I have a third in? No. Shit at 100 feet, yeah. It doesn't look good down flat. Airplane moving? It's a big ass plane for PDK. Yeah, graphics aren't that good low, but I'm also running lower graphics because I'd rather have a smooth, like, frame rate. Bear's eating pizza. Nice. Yeah, why are you at PDK? Anyways. And you're taking off from 3-4. Okay, we're watching this before we land. I'm curious if I'm going to get jet washed from him. I'm going to go park behind him over here. I wonder if that's going to be a thing. I know they were supposed to model that in. I've never gotten a chance to try it. Yeah, go ahead. Don't let me scare you there, bud. But yeah, I prefer the lower graphics, even though I'd like to have super heavy graphics. I prefer the lower graphics because it makes it run smoother for the most part. Let's go. Yeah, for the most part, it runs smoother, which I like that for VR because you don't get sick with it. Full power. Oh, he was able to take off on 3-4. Good for him. Yeah, I prefer that for VR, just so that way you get less chance of getting the sick. The VR motion sickness. I could run higher graphics, but then it's closer to 30 frames and it's more glitchy, steppy, whatever. Also, they did not update the graphics on PDK. There are now like 3 or 4 giant hangars here, where the ones are off to the left. It doesn't look like this anymore. And Brady actually works kind of like right off my nose here in a hangar that would be right to the right. So shout out to Brady. Kitted civilian on Instagram. Works on private jets, does cool stuff. Cool guy. Absolutely shredded. Aeroplane. Oh yeah. Plenty of them here, Bear. But I'm going to come sit down here at Metro. And y'all will have to find something else to watch. And these people right here, they handle like the children's health care, helicopters, like the 135s, 145s, etc. So let's turn this off. Not that it matters. Landing light off. Cool. Whatever. Shift C. Okay, Thanks for anybody who tuned in. Mikey, Bear, appreciate it. Look at that helicopter, Bear. Monster. November 17471. Oh, I want to taxi over there. Okay, cool. It's been fun. I gotta go do things. But, holler at y'all later. Mikey, let me know about fixing your house. We'll fix it. Oop. Okay, cool. Peace, everybody.